to the glory hole.
What's the mayo brand?
And pizza.
Oh.
What?
What's the mayo brand over there?
Now I can't remember when you said Hellman's. Now I'm completely lost. Blue. It's like Best Foods or.
It is Best Foods, right?
Oh, yeah.
It looks almost identical, but it says Best Foods instead of Hellman's.
Instead of Hellman's.
Yeah.
It's a supermarket, though, right? Or some sort of like chain.
I think so. I don't eat a lot of mayonnaise.
Best market.
I eat nothing but mayonnaise.
Is that it?
That's
for
it.
you?
That's how I stay this good looking.
Welcome to the Food Channel. I am Rob Spreads.
I'm Mr. Pepe.
I'm Laura Levine.
I'm Franco Del Valle.
We have a very special guest with us. You already oh my godding?
Yeah, I am. I'm like blushing.
Why?
I don't know.
Alison Quinn is here. This very complimentary right out of the gate. So my first exposure to Alison was on a show that was on ABC called Sons and Daughters, which she was absolutely hysterical on, number one. Number two, it was short-lived, unfortunately, in the world of television, but I still feel to this day that it kind of planted the seeds for Modern Family, because it's really, really close in a lot of ways, and I'm sure you've heard that before.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So years and years later, you're finally in New York, so I welcome, and the fact that you know stuff about Lori's dad was bugging me out a little bit.
I think most women might.
Yeah.
So what did you remember about Lori's dad?
I remember that Lori's dad, one of her first memories of him was being at an OTB with him, right?
Yeah.
And I think somebody's dad told them about being with a prostitute or getting a prostitute.
My dad
Was a prostitute?
Lori is the product
in
of
his
that.
early days. She was a good mom. No, my dad told me he once. So back in the 70s, when you would go through the Holland Tunnel, women would just stand there to get in your car. They're called like tunnel bunnies.
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he said,
Pee-pee, I'm sure, has used one.
he said that he once, a tunnel bunny walked up to the car. I guess he didn't tell me this, but I'm sure he was considering it. And then he saw she had an Adam's apple, so he rolled his window up.
Your dad told you this.
Yeah.
Wow, he's very forthcoming with you.
But you know what's funny? My first memory of my dad is taking me to OTB. You had to be 13, so we had to pay someone off, just $1. But my second memory with my dad is he took me to get manicures. That was my first manicure. So you see, this is
a really weird. Explains a lot about you.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah,
you
there's a
know?
lot going on.
Yeah.
But it's funny, Lori lit up because Allison knew
I couldn't
that.
believe
She's
it. I was so flattered. My dad would be so flattered too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so you're in New York, so
Yes.
we're very happy to have you.
Thanks.
Are you doing the Christmas time tour thing that everybody does when they come here?
I don't usually, but weirdly enough, this time I am, because my sister who lives in Chicago is bringing her kids and my mom, and we're all going to the Rockettes. And I lived here for 7 years. I've never been to the
I've
Rockettes.
never been.
They kick a lot.
They do. I've heard that.
Yeah, they kick a lot.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get to meet one.
Wow.
Oh.
Do you know which one? Is it number 7? Number 7.
Yeah, I think it's number 7.
Are you really going to get to meet one of the
I think
Rockettes?
we are going to. And the way he's saying it, we're going to meet a Rockette, just sounds like
It's just-
we're going to, we get to touch an elephant. It doesn't even sound like you're talking about a human being.
I just think it's odd that it's a Rockette. You're only meeting one.
Yeah, just give me any Rockette. I'll take a Rockette. Let me just.
Do you think that they can do things when they're not synchronized with other people? Do you think they just freeze them? If they're not all interlocked?
Yeah, they probably can't. I mean, I feel like it would be super competitive, right? There's got to be some sort of
Oh, a hierarchy, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a
it's like
bitch-
showgirls.
Right.
There's a bitch Rockette.
Yeah. And how many are there? 50?
100.
No, I
No, I don't think there's 100.
It's 500 of them. It's
Right.
it's like the Senate.
Right.
Or Menudo. They keep replacing.
But what if you were in an orchestra, like a kid orchestra, and you're I'm chair 51. If you were Rockette number 51, that would.
And yeah, I think anyone would be cool. They probably all fucking hate it. I bet deep down, I just.
Oh yeah.
Well, don't they work for James Dolan?
Yeah.
Fucking hate James.
Wait, who's James Dolan?
He owns the Knicks, the Rangers,
Cablevision.
Madison Square Garden,
really?
Cablevision, Radio City. He owns a lot. And
Comedy
God.
Cellar.
Pee-pee, we keeping you? You checking your watch already?
No.
No.
Oh, I don't want to
It's
be
annoying
here.
when the
I
text-
don't want to listen to this about
When-
the Rockettes.
When texts come up, it's annoying.
I auditioned for the Rockettes and I didn't make
And you
it.
didn't make it?
No, I'm talking about you. So that's cool. But like how, so the get to meet a Rockette part, like
Yeah.
where does that come from?
My sister has connections.
Oh, she hooked it up.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know. My nephew's
She was a
9, so
former
I think
Rockette.
he'll enjoy it most.
Yeah,
I'll
I
enjoy the picture.
Yeah.
I think I've seen, like, I think when I was a kid, I saw one of the Christmas spectaculars because it's been going on for a long time. And I've seen them at other events at Radio City where they weren't supposed to be. Like, they trot them out for a lot of stuff. So, like, it'll be a show, like, just completely unrelated sometimes, and they'll bring the Rockettes out, like, if there's an event at Radio City. It's
Is
not-
it like elephants though, where they put a stake in the ground when they're little, and then they just don't know that they can leave?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. But you're right. There's probably a hierarchy. I bet you some
Right.
Rockettes hate other Rockettes.
I met like a globetrotter once, but I don't remember which one.
Well, like, was
Number
it
6.
was it
No idea.
was it like the prime one? Because I mean, they still exist, and
yeah.
it's not
so
like
no, I know, and like they get replaced all the time,
Yeah.
right? But I was in Peru at the time. I must have been like 5, and we went to go see a Globetrotters game.
in Peru.
Yeah, they
was it
travel.
was a gunplay like in between halftime?
No, it's not. It's,
Hangings?
It's not El Salvador. It's Peru.
Every
It's
time
different.
you say Peru, I just think of your story about when you got held up at gunpoint. And I just
Oh,
go
I mean
right
that,
to that.
but that's like now that people with money decide to show up. I'm not one of them, but they just assumed I was.
Well, Globetrotters probably had a rough time then.
No, they were fine. They were tall. People are like really fascinated. Like in other cultures, really tall people are really fascinating.
So what was the? So you?
I just remember taking a photo with one. I don't know where that photo is, but I just know that that man doesn't remember me, and he's probably.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't remember him.
It'd be funny if he saw you. on
But
the
he
street,
probably
like, "You
was a
remember?
number."
You took a picture with me.
What if he did? And then what if he was like, "Can I borrow $2?"
Times I can't dunk no more. It's not as good as it used to be.
No,
Having trouble.
I think he just like put the basketball on my finger.
That's cool.
You think or you know? Did
Yeah.
this happen?
I mean,
It is a vague. Yeah, it was very.
I was also like,
I would,
no, it was like 4 or 5. I don't remember everything about
You
it.
sure he didn't put you on his finger?
I don't think so. No, it definitely did happen because my fingers were like really small, so I couldn't really like,
balance it.
fucking balance a basketball on my finger.
Yeah, but they probably hold your finger while it spins.
Yeah, they put it in their mouth and then
I think you're confusing that with
Yeah.
another thing. It's church.
yeah, no, they didn't do that. No, they did the basketball thing. That was cool.
And look, these events are cool. I like, people. We talked a little bit before we started about it's. People and I complaining about the weather because it's pouring rain and
It's also
going to
hot
snow.
as fucking here.
It is.
Yeah.
But so we're complaining about it, but like because we're over it. But Allie, you come in, you're like, I love the
I
rain.
do. It's like
Yeah.
invigorating. Because like everybody in LA, you get rain like 3 times a year.
Yeah, you have nice sunshine.
A lot of fire though.
A lot of
All the
fire.
fire you can
yeah,
take.
especially more than enough. Yeah.
Was it not
This
close
is
to you? Was it?
It wasn't close to me, but I had to drive to Santa Monica the day of the fire, and it really did look like a nuclear
Yeah.
cloud. And then outside my new apartment that I'm in, that's like Melrose Place meets Mulholland Drive. Like it's got
Nice.
this weird. It's amazing, but it smelled like Like I was like, oh, are they barbecuing? And it was no.
like-
it was
Oh, you
just
can
the
still
smoke.
smell
Like woodland
Yeah.
animals are on fire right now.
Yeah.
It's probably the jerky you're smelling.
It might be, and I
Yeah.
have I still have a lingering cough from it. I think because I'm not
Yeah, I
sick.
just got
I
back
can
from
see
LA
that.
and
You
I
did?
woke up coughing
And you could-
every morning.
Really?
And I was
Yeah.
in Beverly Hills, and
it's just
there.
everywhere.
That's
It's terrible, man.
That's a shame.
And it's getting worse.
Well, somebody was saying
Yeah.
that because of the logging they did, there's just sawdust everywhere, and it just like sparks fires immediately. So everybody's like, we need to log, and it's just going to continue spreading more fires.
Yeah, and it's
know.
it's so weird that the best places in the country to live come with some kind of natural disaster caveat.
Tornado Alley?
Yeah, you want to. Yeah, you
Yeah.
want you want to live in Florida. You're gonna get pummeled by hurricanes.
And I wanted to live in
Right.
Flint.
Flint, Michigan.
Oh, you
yeah.
did? Yeah, no. You even before the water crisis, you
Yeah, I
probably
don't
didn't
know if
want to
that's
live
really
in
for you.
Flint. But like that's so sad and fixable. But
I know, and I saw. Can you come a little?
Oh, yeah,
I
sorry.
saw. I saw Michael Moore's documentary too. and he spent a third of the movie on Flint because he's from there, and just what a clusterfuck from beginning to end of everything that went down. Everybody culpable. It was absolutely ridiculous, and it's still not fixed.
I'll be honest with you.
Exactly.
There's one person who looks like he'd be from Flint, Michigan.
It's Michael.
It's Michael Moore.
He does. Yeah.
He does.
I mean, all those people belong in jail.
They do.
Yeah.
And they'll never go.
No.
Obama too.
Well, yeah, Obama did something too that I couldn't believe it.
What'd he do?
So there comes a point where
What was the one thing he did?
So wait, hold on. So they showed a chain of events of what happened, and so first like they talk about Trump, but then they move into Flint, and they were showing why one of the reasons why Trump won Michigan, and they blamed it on the Democrats, and they showed what happened with the water, and they were desperate for help. They were begging for help. And Obama finally flies in, and they're like, finally, all they wanted him to do was to declare the area a state of emergency. If they do that, then the military Corps of Engineers can come in and work on it and fix the problem. Instead, he treated it like a PR event, and he drank the water a few times to show that it was safe in front of the people, and they were mortified by it, and they all just flipped on the entire Democratic Party. There's stuff in there that makes you
Really?
so mad, like watching it. Like it's funny because I'm like, oh, let's go check out this movie. I thought I'd be laughing at Trump for 90 minutes, and then 20 minutes in, I'm like, I don't even want to come here. I'm like, I walked out of there like miserable.
Did you see it at the Alamo? So that way you could like get a beer and a steak?
No. I saw it in Hicksville. Hicksville.
They have movie theaters there?
They do.
One.
They do. So Allie,
Yes.
I wanted to talk about Sons and Daughters a little bit, but I also there are other things that you have done that also kind of fascinate me.
Oh, really?
As well, yes. Including a Christmas card that you sent to me dressed as Courtney Love, which is legendary, with like Coke all over your face.
Yeah.
It was very Christmassy.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of compliments on that card?
I do.
Or do people freak out when they saw it?
Some people were upset. My aunt, who passed away a little while after that, her daughter had to explain to her that it was a joke because she was concerned about me.
I don't have. If you can send me an image of it, if you
will.
have it, I'll put it in the video. But it's like she's dressed as Courtney Love. There's like literally cocaine on her face, and it's like Merry Christmas.
Well, it says,
Oh, it was a Christmas card.
Yeah, it's a
yes, it
Christmas
was a
card.
Christmas card that said, oh my God, what did it say? Like, happy holidays. Here's hoping you have plenty of fresh powder. And it was me with like Coke all over my face with my friend who was dressed as Bjork. It was from Halloween. I like to be Courtney Love every year for Halloween. So that was maybe the greatest Christmas card I ever did.
That's a
and
good
probably the last Christmas card I ever did. But I'll still walk into like casting offices every once in a while, and they'll have it on the fridge still.
They will. Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So,
very cool.
yeah, I'll send it to you.
Definitely makes you stand out for sure.
Thank you.
So this show, Sons and Daughters, was written and produced by Fred Goss. It was a couple of families, very, very similar amount of family in the same ways.
I was just trying to open up dialogue between me and Liz, who clearly has no interest in speaking to me. I mean, she can't even stand next to me in front of some hot dogs for 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, but every time, listen, look how you walked up. Retrace your steps. Hey, toxic. She walks away. She doesn't want to hear it, you know?
You're mean.
Listen, if you're going to talk to her, here's a little tip from your brother, okay? What you want to do is ask questions. Always ask her questions. That's all you do.
About herself.
Yes, don't
Okay.
make it about Sharon. I know this is tough. It's not about Sharon.
Did you just get your teeth cleaned? No. Really? They look so white. How's work? Oh, great. Are those new earrings? Were they expensive? They look expensive. How the kids? Good. Is it hard being a stepmom? No. You must be stretched so thin. I only have 4 more years and I have the rest of my life ahead of me. You've got probably what, Marnie's 14 more years of living for someone else.
Did Cameron put you up to this? I mean, did he tell you to come in here and ask me questions?
And absolutely hysterical. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about it, because it says that a lot of it was improvised, and you can tell, but in a good way, because it looks very spontaneous, and you are hysterically funny. And I really wish that there's a way to still watch it. Like, I have every episode.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, there is still.
Yeah, Fred put them all on Vimeo.
He did put them up. Okay, he got them from me, by the way.
He did.
Yeah, he did. So shows you what a nerd of that show I was. Yeah,
no,
so.
you're the best.
That show. How much of it was improvised? Like, did you pretty much have a guideline, or was it scripted most of the way?
So you get like a normal script would be like 30 minutes or 45 pages, I guess, for a half hour. I don't know. I haven't done one in a while. I forgot what the scripts look like. But this was like more of an outline. So you had like, oh, this is where you get into the scene and this is where you have to go. Mm-hmm. But what you actually say, you got to make up everything. And there were also writers on the set who would sometimes like, do you remember when Jerry said the colonel has been murdered?
Yes, of course.
That, I think a writer said it to him. And then there was something in the scene when we were having sex, and I forgot what it was. And they whispered in Jerry's ear. And I'm so glad I didn't hear what they whispered, because I wouldn't have been able to keep a straight face.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
I can't remember. It might have been when we were having sex and then he said the colonel has been murdered. And that will make sense to the three people besides you that saw the show. But like most of it, you got to make up your own stuff.
And I remember at the time that I was very mad at network television in general, because at the time that it hit, Arrested Development was having its trouble, and I've said many times on the show, it's probably my favorite comedy show of all time.
Arrested Development. And it was, I think it had just been canceled, and like I was looking for something, and I stumbled upon it. And Alison is fantastic in every single one of them. Thank you.
But like, how do you get this part? Do you just audition with a bunch of people? Did you know anyone that kind of gave you an inside track? How'd you get it?
I got really lucky, but also lucky on the fact that all the times I worked really hard and nothing came to fruition.
Right,
I feel like I had done a one-person show and won a contest.
Oh, wow.
And it was like on the American Idol of one lady show contest in LA. It was like right after I moved there. And it was about, like I feel like all one lady shows are about like cancer or
vaginas.
Like men learning to accept my body. So me and my sister, when we were kids, my dad was getting married for a second time. We were bridesmaids, and we decided we wanted to stop the wedding because we watched a lot of soap operas. Because we had like hoary babysitters after school because my mom was teaching. So in the middle of the wedding, in our JCPenney dresses, we stepped forward and said, when they said, "Who here thinks that these two should not be married?" We were like, "We do."
No way, you did that?
Yes.
Holy shit.
And so we weren't successful, but that was what my show was about.
What an awkward aftermath that must have been.
It was horrible. I didn't really consider consequences.
Are they still together?
No. So who was right? Yes, thank you.
How old were you?
I think it was like 11 or 12. I'm trying to find a picture because like my hair was, I was a chubby kid, and I was like, my hair was a giant. I had like curly hair, but I was like, I need a curly perm. I had braces. And my sister was like, I think I was 11 and my sister was 9. We got in a lot of trouble, you guys.
That's crazy.
So that was my one-person show, and I won this contest, and then I got to meet casting directors, and the head of casting for comedy for NBC was like, "Have you auditioned for this show called Significant Others yet?" And I'm like, "No." And it seemed like what you would want Hollywood to be like. So I'm sitting in her office. She's like, "Hold on." And she picks up the phone and she's like, "I told you to bring Alison Quinn in for this pilot." And I went home and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is it. This is it. Like, this is my big break." And I went in and I auditioned for the pilot 13 times.
13.
I didn't get it. And I flew to New York, got off the plane, and met a friend over here somewhere for like margaritas and tacos. And they're like, "We want to see you again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Wow. And I'm like, I just got to New York. I didn't have any representation. I'm like, do I fly back right now? Yeah. So I didn't, and I didn't get the pilot either. But then they kept me in mind. I finally, in season 2, did a guest star, and that's where I met Fred. Mm-hmm. And then he was doing the pilot for a different show called The Weekend, and he said, "I thought you were great on Significant Others." And in that show. I had like slept with him or done something. I don't know, but it was weird because he ended up playing my brother and felt like my brother. But then I didn't get the weekend either, and then I was like, it's over, it's all over. And then he's like, I'm doing this other show. So I went in and auditioned, and
That's awesome.
that's how I got it.
So when you get that call, it's got to be like the greatest thing.
Oh my
ever.
God, it's so crazy. I was taking, groundlings.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was taking a groundlings class, and it was like super fun. But I had to bring in a monologue. I was going to do a band character named Noodles. And I remember being at Kinko's, and someone, like, you know how like people, there was another comedy girl at Kinko's doing something, and she was like, what are you up to?
So LA.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm just putting out, you know what I mean? And then Fred called me, and he's like, can I talk to Sharon, which is the character's name, which is how he was telling me that I got
cool,
it.
yeah.
And I was like, like at Kinko's, and then like print, and I'm like, not much. Everything's good. Like just waiting for her to find out that I got it, which is so gross, but like very satisfying.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So
Very cool. So,
that was long. Sorry. I said over.
no.
Good night.
Oh, stop it. So,
The most exciting part of my day is finding a good avocado in December.
Oh, it
This
is.
is
Come
way
to
better.
California.
No, I'm okay.
They're like,
I don't want to
okay.
drive.
Okay. Well, you don't. I wouldn't drive to California either. I would fly.
No, I mean, I wouldn't drive one there. I don't
Drive
like
an
cars that much,
avocado?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, he just comes out of nowhere
yeah.
with things.
No,
so
that's
you guys
the
are
real
just-
thing. You don't. I'm afraid
but
of being in cars,
He's
man.
afraid.
No, I mean the avocado
Oh,
part.
wait. Do you take the thing
I
off
was
the
just saying that
bottom?
that's the most mundane thing that actually makes me excited. That sounds way better. Like telling someone like I got a part, but not
yeah.
telling them. That sounds way better.
What were you going to ask him just now?
Do you take the thing off the bottom of the avocado?
To check, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you check, and then you got to feel it. It's nice and soft, not
Yeah.
too soft,
Yeah.
not too firm.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
We started with mayonnaise. We moved on to avocado.
Good. Yeah.
Been watching a lot of Chopped.
I know. You know what? I can't. They need to have some more of the shows where they just have somebody cook. I'm getting so tired of the
Competitive?
staged Chopped shows where it's like you have to cook something with, and they start reading the ingredients. It's like rhubarb, a homeless man's foot, parsley, and then it's just
And an unripe avocado.
right, and a rotten avocado.
Yeah.
That would be rough.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm getting tired of those shows, but so
I just watched Guy Fieri. Sorry.
Yeah, I like
Oh.
watching him too. I don't
Yeah.
know how is he not like 10,000 pounds by now.
He is. It's just
His camera
They only
trick.
He
show him
has a
from like
very
quarter up.
a very questionable midsection. I've noticed.
His
the,
hair. You
the
think this
fire
world?
like blocks it from us seeing
Oh, the shirt.
the fire shirts.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just interrupting everything. Don't mind me. Just
No,
tell me to shut
this
up.
This is what you do. It's all good.
You brought us to Flavortown.
That's right. You did.
I made leggings for a friend. I'll send you a picture of that too. With Guy Fieri's face for a
Sick.
birthday
What?
present. I made her leggings with Guy
What's
Fieri's
Guy
face
made
on
out
them.
of?
Just like lycra.
Oh, it's like an
Wow.
Yeah.
image. Something just went.
Where exactly on the leg was Guy Fieri's?
All
face?
over.
They always just covered it.
Everywhere. Yeah. It's like polka dots, but it's Guy Fieri face.
If Kara ever
Imagine-
gets into toys, I'll just make her put a Guy Fieri sticker on the toy.
Imagine wearing that to his restaurant.
Guy Fieri dildo.
Well, and every year I try to get him to wish her a happy birthday, and he won't.
He's not nice. From what
No,
I hear.
he isn't nice. And then, like, the crew people from diners, drive-ins, and ding dongs or whatever it is will always be like, happy birthday, Amy. Is that good enough? Like, I'm a PA.
I was reading his Wikipedia page, and apparently the first company that ever did his show was like he was a jerk and he would eat the food in the fridge from like any place that he was at.
I believe that.
And so they sued him for something, and then like he countersued for defamation, and then they just got dropped, and then the new company picked it up.
No way.
Yeah,
That's very strange.
it's on Wikipedia. It's really funny to me that like that's like a complaint. Like in court, it's like yeah, he just kept coming over and looking in the fridge and eating everybody's food and yelling at people.
Well, what's funny is I invited Guy Fieri on the show
You did?
through his people, right? So this is how this goes, and this happens a lot with this show specifically. Is there's a before and after. There's when they get the email and they look and they see that Riotcast is a viable network and they see the numbers. And then there's the inevitable let me click and check out the show,
Oh,
which
yeah.
sometimes can ruin it, sometimes it helps. So his people first said, you know, this is great. Guy is in for the week. We might be able to make this work. I'll let you know. And then 2 days later, I followed up. I said, hey, you know, we spoke to Guy. I think we might be able to get this to work out. I'll let you know in a day or so. Okay, great. And then the next day, Guy is not available for this. Like, I'm sure.
You know what you guys do?
Yeah.
Next time,
Check
tell
out
him
the show.
Next time, tell him about my story for his fucking
I will.
restaurants.
I'll send him the video.
Yeah, send it to him. Fucking deep fried frozen margarita bites.
That sounds good.
It does sound actually.
Sounds like something you would
it
do.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, it's like a dumpling, but it's deep fried. It's margarita.
So back to Allie. So you so when you get it now, so your life changes totally from what it was before. So now you're going on set all the time, and like you're getting pampered on set. I'd imagine like you get everything that is it everything you think it is, or it's completely opposite of that.
It's half.
It's half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
so-
it's way less. Well, it's amazing. Like it was super amazing. Like it was like going to Disneyland every day, which is something Fred said, which I'm stealing because it's true. Like I was excited to be at work at 5 a.m. I never wanted to go home. Everyone was really fun and amazing. I was skipping. I don't feel pampered. My hair looked horrible. Even like my 13-year-old friend that I was going to maybe bring tonight was like, your hair looked really weird on that show. And I'm like, yeah.
Wait, how was craft services?
Craft services was decent. But then like I'm not very tall, but I'm also not like super thin. And one time the costume lady, who was super awesome, had to call to try to get us dresses for something. She's like, oh, but no one knew who we were. So she's like, I might be able to get you something for free as a loaner. And she's like, I have 2 zeros and a 4. and now I was the 4, and she whispered it on the phone in front of me, and I was like, I need to lose some weight. Like, this is embarrassing. But also, everybody really was like, it wasn't, because I think it was sort of experimental seeming. It wasn't like, we didn't have like big trailers and stuff. We had dressing rooms. It was nice though. But there was a PA that always used to, because I feel like I was going to bring a 13-year-old, and I'm like, we can't talk about sex. So now I got to like put a couple things in there because I didn't bring her. And there was a PA that would always have to like walk me to him from my dressing room. I don't know why. They didn't trust me to do it on my own. And he's always like, I got to get a handy J from you before this show airs.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And he was like relentless about it. And I would just be like, yeah. I mean, and I've done some stuff, but like, he was so eager that it was like a turn. Like I was like, oh, like the title of my memoirs would be like, I've done worse for free. But I couldn't do it. But like every day I'm like, here he comes. And I would be like, oh, yeah.
And he would say, like, what an odd request, though.
I mean, he is walking her.
Like,
yeah.
I guess he's only have a few
Do
minutes.
you not get hand jobs walking? No. What do you?
Well,
very difficult.
Well, a couple of things.
Only to kids.
Number one, like, to call it a handy J, which is, I've never heard that before.
No.
What a weird thing to call it. And
But it's something we'll all use forever now.
Exactly.
It's a great gift that you gave us.
Yeah.
I want to name something like my cat's Handy and Jay.
Handy J.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So like
childish.
But that's so odd, like to say that to you. Like I want to get a Handy J.
Yeah.
Like was there flirting before? Like
not on my part. No.
So he just like every day would flirt with you and then be like, I want to get a Handy.
It doesn't sound like flirting. It sounds like sexual.
Yeah. It's completely sexual. I'm trying to.
I'm not
frame
gonna
that.
lie. I like how he picked a specific. He did choice,
but he picked such an odd choice. Like if you could pick from a menu, no one's picking the Handy J.
What do you think it is? Like endless. Like if you had to put in an Olive
she has a
Garden
nice hand. She's got nice hands.
They're small.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, if you had to put that doesn't make them tighter.
It makes him feel like more.
My hand's always like this.
He feels like
Maybe that's why, because we're clenched all the time.
Makes him feel like he's huge.
Yeah, exactly.
But wait,
I don't know.
That's the name of the episode.
It's what, the Handy J?
J?
No, I wouldn't do that to her publicly.
Oh, it's okay. I don't care.
So wait, so you're
In terms of like Olive Garden foods, like what would a Handy J
on the
be?
menu?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Endless soup?
Yeah,
It was weird, and it wouldn't.
It would just be the house salad. It would be like
That is the most basic.
It
I mean,
is.
no, don't get me wrong. Sometimes like a little kiss, little Handy J is nice.
With a little mayonnaise.
Little kiss and a handy J is okay sometimes. It's nice.
I know, I
Little
understand that,
kiss.
but let's put it in perspective. First of all, you're a PA on a television show.
I am not.
You should not know. Like, you put yourself in that for a moment. Be that for a moment. You're on a television show working.
I meet you. I might. I mean, I don't know. You're really cute. I would maybe ask for your number.
Right, but not the handy J
That's-
right away.
Not right away. I don't even think I'd preface it in
second
any
day.
way. I'd just be like, hey, what's up?
Well, you're also like, I already feel like we have a better rapport than me and that guy had. Like, it was
Yeah.
just like, we need you in 5 minutes.
It's like
Can I
this.
get a handy J?
Yeah, it's like that. Ben Roethlisberger. What's next? Grab him by the pussy. Like, that's a really bad hierarchy.
Or maybe the handy J was because he was such a good PA, he knew the schedule.
That could
and
be.
knew that he could only work in a handy J. Was the only.
That
It's so
could be.
fucking
I
ridiculous.
don't know. Anybody who asks for a handy J probably doesn't last long in bed, or maybe they last forever.
That was like what I was sort of worried about, where I was like, well, one, gross. Like, those haven't been fun since 7th grade. And two, maybe he just is like one of those numbers guys, that is like, I'll just ask everybody.
Yeah.
Like, now I
Eventually
think.
you're gonna have somebody.
Right. Like, now I think, like, oh, he like really thought I was going to be like, so great. And he's like, I got to get a handy J from you. And now if we interviewed like everyone he came across, they'd be like, oh my God, he said that to
Fred
me
too?
It could be.
Probably.
Fred might have given them the handy J. I don't know.
I've never met Fred.
If
so-
you ask enough people for a handy J,
You're eventually
Someone
gonna
the
get it.
gonna
numbers
say
are going to
somebody.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get one.
I don't know, but
They're awkward when somebody
Might
even
be a
just
leap
does it.
year. I'm not
right?
sure.
Like I just feel so bad. It's
Yeah,
like-
like there was. I mean, no names, but like there was one woman who I was really into, and that's what she was really into, and she wasn't good at them.
Giving you a handy J.
Yeah, she was into those, and it didn't feel great. It was like a little rough. I didn't
But
love
do
it.
you think that maybe she didn't want
She
to
has
do
psoriasis.
something
She had
else?
something like there was something like off. Like she worked for a magazine that made her like feel bad about her body. Like it was one of those. It's just it was really
But
rough.
probably
She
no
had psoriasis.
calluses.
She had psoriasis.
Jesus, no. She was very good looking. I actually bumped into her not too long ago on a date, and I just looked at the guy and I was like, enjoy what she does.
Get ready.
Get ready.
Get ready.
It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna be dry. It's gonna be painful.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated with the selection. I just am. I just think like if you like, I can make a grilled cheese myself.
Yeah.
But when I go to a restaurant, I'm gonna have something I can't do myself, so I'm not gonna order a grilled cheese.
I feel the same way.
So like why like I can give a handy to myself. Like why would I? Why on earth would I just ask
Give me
for
a
that?
Spider-Man kiss. That's what I would ask. Give me a Spider-Man kiss.
The only thing I can think of too is that maybe he was like, when you don't like if you go out to dinner with somebody and you're not sure and you're like, well, I don't want to look like a pig, so I'll just order like an appetizer.
Right.
So maybe that's what he didn't want to look like a pig, so he just asked for a
Well,
handy J.
you failed at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sure did.
And he's like hoping the entree is next.
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
So
though.
other than this highlight
bad.
of the show,
yes.
This is a lot of time for a handy.
I tell you,
Sorry. Yeah, no. This is like
That's like
way
the
too
true
much time
Hollywood
for
story
it.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I have some more, but
so
Not that.
you have more like inappropriateness.
I do.
Like what? Why you giggling? You want to see something?
He
funny?
would thrive in that
So check this-
environment.
I love inappropriateness.
Check this out. At any point,
Yeah.
and I want you to do this whenever you like.
Yeah.
You can make him laugh on command just by saying hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite?
He just
Well,
he,
wait.
he
You
loses
just did it.
He loses
Why
it.
is it so funny?
You just randomly you can just do
No,
that.
don't
to
do
him.
it.
see, he loses his cool.
It's like tickling him.
You look like a white Tiger Woods with that hat on. It's too bad no one will ever know.
Yeah, my golf stinks anyway.
So
Yeah.
all right, so the show starts airing. Like
Yeah.
you got to be like telling the whole planet like watch me on television. Yeah, like do you get to see it before it's out? Like I know there's a premiere, but are you watching the later episodes as they air, or do you get to see them all beforehand?
I only got to see the first 3 that I remember beforehand.
And then after that, you were actually watching them on TV with everybody else. That's got to be so.
That's awesome.
That
It
is
was
so
cool. And like there was a girl, Amanda, and she played my sister. And the theme music was Surrender by Cheap Trick,
Right.
which was like one of my favorite songs. And so I went over to her house and we were just hanging out and we were singing. We put on Surrender and we were like dancing around. And her roommate was a screenwriter and he came in. He's like, Do you think the cast of Friends dances to like whatever the theme song from
First
Friends?
couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah, and we were like,
maybe.
so we didn't want to be that, so we turned it off. But no, at first, well, it was only on for a couple weeks because they did that weird thing where they aired the episodes, even though it was
They
a new
burned
show,
them off,
back
yeah.
to back, which I think they thought was going to be cool, but clearly turned out to be like not the way they wanted.
They
Like,
thought it
people
was like
wanted
the
to see
white out of
shows.
typewriters.
Now, I mean, it kind of ends like there is a complete season. And
Yeah.
I know that I think the last one never actually aired, right?
It didn't.
Right. So, but I've seen that one too, and
Yeah.
and it wraps it up a little bit enough where it's at least at peace. But so, like, how far into it do you know that it's not coming back, or do you have to wait until the season's over and then you just don't know?
We didn't know until May because we were. Everybody was like, "Oh, this show is gonna get picked up for sure," and like even some crew guys were like, "This is the best show I've ever worked on." But you know, you can't count your chickens. So
Well, because it's smart, and because it was smart, it lost most of America.
well, also they
Like a lot of other shows.
yeah, and they also aired it across from what's that singing show? American Idol.
Yeah.
When American Idol
Oh,
was
when
like
it was
at
at
its
its height,
peak,
yeah.
and because they thought it could take it, and
Yeah.
Jillian called it American Show Killer. So we had
Exactly.
really low ratings, and we used to have a call every week, so you could kind of tell, but we were all still like, maybe
but
there's
yeah.
hope for it.
Yeah.
And
Wrong
there-
thing to be put against.
Yeah, and there was nothing to pair. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a network person. It seemed like there wasn't a lot to pair it with. So, no, it got canceled, but we didn't find out until probably May, and then they had talked about maybe selling it somewhere else.
Which probably now it would have gotten picked up by
I think
something.
it would
just
have.
one of
Netflix.
the streaming or everything.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
didn't Fred
Pick
just
up.
sign a deal to like create stuff for them? I thought he did.
For who?
No, I don't know if he signed a deal with Netflix or someone to create shows. I don't know.
That would be
I think
good for Fred.
I know, but I'm just saying like you know,
hermaphrodite.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just gonna take that clip from now on and play it and make him laugh instead
Okay.
of you doing it.
Sweet.
So here's something that
Yeah.
I know that you guys are gonna be definitely into asking about. You filmed a scene for a pilot with Kanye West,
I did.
where Kanye West wanted to do a Curb Your Enthusiasm type of show.
Yeah.
Now, this was for HBO at the time?
Yeah.
So you filmed this scene with Kanye. And I've never asked you about this, but I
no.
really want to know, like, what the fuck that must have been like.
Oh my God, that was
Now, this is
crazy.
pre-Kim, so it was only marginally crazy Kanye at the time.
It was more
Or
egotistical.
no? Or face otherwise.
No, he wasn't crazy. It wasn't like
normal.
it was again like halfsies. Like it wasn't. He was really cool. Like I was terrified of him before I met him, but he was really funny and he really took his work very seriously, but not in a bad way. Like he really wanted to get it. And I think Wyatt Cenac, who I knew from Improv Olympic, was like helping coach him, and Matt Besser was helping to coach him in improv. And you could tell like he really wanted to learn and get improv down. But at one point, he said to the kid, I was like a Make-A-Wish lady. To the kid in the scene I
And
was
I'm
in.
going to drop the clip in here,
Oh, okay.
actually. Yeah, because I have.
Okay, I can give you the whole pilot.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
yes,
have to
yes.
send it to you. Which is, I got in trouble. Did you know I got in trouble?
No.
I'll tell you that in a second. So,
Another wedding?
yes.
Did you speak out at Kanye's wedding?
No, but I was at my friend's wedding, and they made you turn in your telephones. Hermaphrodite telephones. What is? So they made you turn in your phones because they didn't want anybody taking pictures. And then I got back to my phone, and it was like all this stuff. And this lady from MTV is like, "Can I interview you?" One of my friends, like in my reel, I had the scene because why wouldn't you put the scene with Kanye West from HBO on your reel?
Right.
You would. It was on YouTube, and then my friend gave it to Nick Hornby,
Oh, the guy who wrote About a Boy, right?
Yeah, and then he really loved
Oh,
like
that was-
the web series I had for a while, and he was trying to get people to watch
to
it.
that, too.
And he put up this YouTube thing, and then I got like cease and desist from HBO.
No way.
And all these people were
Wow.
taking it down. They were like, take it down. So I had like maybe 270 after this wedding saying like, you can't, like, you're in trouble.
Wow.
So Kanye, at one point, he turned to the little kid in the Make-A-Wish scene and he goes, I'm the greatest living rapper. Like, it was all ego. And I was like,
And that's improv.
yeah. But I was like, who can argue with him? And so he ended up being really fun and nice, but it was a terrifying experience. And we shot it at LAX, a hotel by LAX. And so there were no dressing, like, it was 6 women. Kim Watley?
Was it comedy?
It was comedy. Yeah, it was like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I saw a clip of it, and you're funny, of course,
Thanks.
because you're
Is
mispronouncing
he
his name
stiff?
on purpose and stuff.
Again, right there,
Hold on. I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm with the Make-A-Wish kid.
Julio, could you put the PSP down maybe and talk to Kenny a little bit?
Kanye.
I'm sorry?
Kanye.
Oh, I'm from Ohio. We say Kenny. That's how we pronounce it.
Well, I don't care where you're from. You pronounce my name Kanye.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Kanye.
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 Yeah, okay.
Like Kanye Rogers. Islands in the stream.
Who's your favorite artist? Who do you like?
Lil Wayne. R. Kelly's cool. Lloyd. I like DJ Unk and Walk It Out. That was real cool.
What? Do you like any of my songs?
They're okay.
Mr. West was on the cover of Vibe magazine, so you'd be a little
I've
respectful.
actually never been on the cover of Vibe.
You haven't?
I was on Time, Rolling Stone, Time.
Time magazine.
You never heard of it, Time?
Oh, no, yeah, I've heard of it. I have a subscription. I didn't think they'd put you on the cover. What for?
I mean, well, you didn't have to think they put me on the cover because they did. It didn't have to be in your thoughts. It was in your reality.
That's awesome. Congratulations. What was it for?
It was for being the smartest man in pop music. That's what it said.
How do they measure something like that?
Well, I guess isn't that too many smart people in pop music?
I guess not. Yeah, you wouldn't believe some of the dumb people that I've met doing this.
I'm not one of them, right?
No, you're the smartest. Time doesn't lie.
He's okay. No, I wouldn't. You know what? I would love to dump on him if he deserved
Yeah.
it, but he didn't. He was okay. It was.
I'm indifferent about
It was
him
kind
at
of
this
a
point.
it was a funny concept for sure, but I just thought it was odd that you like got to work with him on that.
I thought it was
must have
odd, too.
Must have been weird, like in a way, you know, just because he doesn't seem like, you know, he doesn't seem normal, like in any sense of the word. But I mean, I guess he's just a regular guy in some ways, at least back then, because he looked very young.
Yes.
So like when I saw him, it was strikingly a younger Kanye. So it was more about, at the time, he was on the top of the rap scene, and
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when
wasn't
Kanye-
afraid to
yeah.
tell everyone
No.
how successful he was. You know, which
When I got into Kanye, I was like 13.
yeah,
That was 17 years ago.
yeah, wow, so that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and he started ordering me around at one point, like in this scene.
Give
He's
me
like,
a handy J.
Oh,
I
in the
was gonna say, if he would have said it, I would have been like, okay. Like he was like, sit down.
Okay.
He's like, cross your legs, bark like a dog, and I'm like,
Oh, in the scene he's doing it. Oh, okay.
yeah, not behind. No.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Nope, in the trailer.
Yeah. There was no trailer. It was just this hotel room.
In the hotel room.
So it's just one episode that they did.
They did a pilot and they didn't pick it up. But I don't know how he would have been able to shoot a TV show with all, his touring.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm sure he'd
Yeah.
find a way. But since we're on improv and HBO,
Yeah,
you know where I'm going next.
I do.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
Just sign in, please, and have a seat. Shouldn't be too long.
I have a little problem with this, these sign-in sheets, My name's right out in the open here. It's a little bit of a privacy issue.
There's no shame in having to come to the gastroenterologist's
A little
office.
embarrassing, maybe, We could just put a sign up on the wall saying Larry David was here. Why don't we do that?
I have to tell you, I've worked here for 4 years. I've never had anyone come in and, cruise the list of patient names for any reason.
What if you
are in charge of this. Okay, so this is down here. You keep that.
I don't like that. First of all, I only get paid $9 an hour, so it's a little more responsibility than I'm used to keep track of patients. Second of all, I can't even make decisions. You have to take it up with the home office.
I would like to take it up with the home office. So you didn't think I was going to take you up on that? You know what?
No, I did think you were. You just strike me as that type.
Well, things like this interest me. I'm not an inventor, but I'm an improver. I improve things that are broken. This is broken. This system is broken. I'd like to improve it.
Great. I'm assuming you're a new patient because I think I would have remembered you,
Yeah.
so please fill that out.
Okay.
So I didn't even know. I'm watching the episode. I'm like, wait a minute.
Really?
So that was very, very cool. So you're a receptionist at a doctor's office and you're fighting with Larry.
Yes.
Which everyone does. So what's that like, and what's he like? You know, you get that a lot, I'm sure. But
No, that's the same. I mean, I don't think anybody ever recognizes me from anything, so no one ever asks me anything. That's good. That's how I got the Kanye thing, was off my audition for Curb Your Enthusiasm. And it was the same director who I knew because I had also, I mean, I will say my audition was amazing, but I also used to babysit for him from time to time.
That's all right.
So Curb Your Enthusiasm, they give you a piece of paper that has a one-line sentence, and that's you have to audition off that. Like, they tell
Really?
you. Yeah,
So
and
what
that's
was
all you ever get.
So what was your line? What
Oh,
was your
God.
sentence?
It was like,
In the audition, not the show.
Larry, yeah, I can't even remember, but it was like Larry goes into, is that a this is how good this is my medical background, gastroenterologist, but they're like, he wants to see the sign-in chart and you won't let him.
Okay, and that's it.
That's it.
That's cool. So then you have to. So before the scene, how long? That's what they give you before the scene starts. So there's no script. There's no nothing.
Nothing.
And so that's it. He wants the chart. You won't give it to him, and then you just have to roll with it. That's very, very cool.
Yeah. So again, I was terrified because he is not a chit chatter between scenes at first. And then at first I could tell they were concerned because they kept coming out and giving me notes like, and then somehow it just like I felt like I understood him and like clicked in, or I got where he was going. And then you just get to, I guess, paraphrase Kanye, like you get in your zone, and I was like, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing right now.
Right.
And then it became really fun, and then by the end he gave me a hug, and I was like, oh my god. And then
stay here.
Jeff Garland came up to me and he's like, oh my god, your audition was amazing. And then they were like, they cut me, and then like, wait, don't leave. And I was like, oh my god,
I'm gonna
maybe
have
they're
dinner.
they're gonna add. Oh, they had the best craft service. Their craft service.
I was gonna ask.
like lobster
No.
and steak for lunch.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
God.
it was like amazing.
We got to get on that show.
Yes, all the mayonnaise you could eat. They would probably be like, "Oh, you don't like almonds? We have Best Buy." Like they'll be like, "We'll get it for you."
Perfectly ripe avocados.
Yes. So, I was hoping they were going to be like, she's so great. Like, let's write her into the last scene, or it was supposed to also be the series finale. It was when the Black family was on.
Oh, okay.
And then they're like, no, you can go.
So why? So they said don't leave, and then they said you can go. So yeah. So maybe.
So I like sat around like eating cookies like as fast as I could because I was so like, ah.
Yeah, I can imagine being incredibly nervous for that.
Yeah, and then I was like standing in line for a hippie church because I was in LA, and some lady was like, I was talking, and she's like, oh wait, you're on my show. And she's like, oh, I think you'll be really happy. And she's like, he was impressed with what you did. So that's all you can ask for.
That's all, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's so when you get the first run through, there's no run through. Like they start filming, so there's you get one sentence, you get no notes, you get no suggestions, and it goes. So even like when they're blocking the scene, like they're already filming stuff, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think there was blocking.
Yeah, they just kind of was a single camera, right? Or was it two, maybe?
I believe. People always ask me about the cameras, and I'm always like, I don't know. Like Sons and Daughters, I still have no idea how many camera people there were.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Maybe 2, maybe 4.
Yeah, who knows? But like it's, I would. Well, that's good because you're not really supposed to look at the camera, so you should know where it is anyway.
Well, here's a tip for everybody: if you're doing comedy and you're not sure how you're doing,
Handy J.
Handy J. First of all, it works wonders with the like higher up crew.
Boom guys.
Look at the cameraman's stomachs because they'll be moving. Because if they're laughing,
that's interesting.
they can't. No one can laugh out loud. So
if you see those
try to
stomachs
look at
moving,
people's stomachs, and if they're like kind of chuckling,
jiggling.
you'll see it.
Oh.
that would throw me out. I would just be looking at stomachs the whole time. Like, okay, it's my turn. But I think it's probably better to not have had a script because it's. One thing I can never, and the people who do this, I admire the fact that you can look at a script and then you can go off that script and I don't think I have the memory capacity to be able to do that, to remember every line. I don't care how many times I go through it. I don't know. I don't think I could.
So my whole question with this is, and this is because it fascinates me that some people are very good at improv, but how do you tell someone they're not? I know so many people who are not good at improv, and to just improvise a scene, to do any sort of comedy, anything. How do you get to that point where you're so comfortable?
Yeah.
What? Wait, sorry.
It's a 2-part question. Is number one.
Oh, okay.
Is it really cringy and difficult to watch people do really bad improv? And number 2, how do you just is it just something you're born with? Can you practice it? I don't know. It's fascinating to me.
I think it's a combo. Again, where it's I think a lot of people I know that are really funny or really good at improv were naturally good at making stuff up like that. I used to do it when I was a kid. I'd
stopping a wedding.
Yeah, exactly. What's funnier than that? Or I used to make up songs for my friends on sick days and stuff. But you can take classes and practice it. And I do think there's some people that can get good. And I think there's some people that maybe won't ever get good.
That's I feel like a lot of my friends that are come to my improv, I'm no thank you.
No, I don't.
I if my grandma was come to my improv, I'd be no, grandma, I'll come to your funeral. I'll come to Christmas. I'm not coming to your improv set or your DJ set. Those are 2 things.
I didn't know your grandma DJ'd or did improv.
I mean, neither. But if she tells me, I'm fucking embarrassed.
Well, maybe if it's a level 4 show, you could help her out a little. She could also. What if she died during the show? That would be very improvisational.
Oh God, that'd be standing
that'd be more
up.
performance art, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, bad improv is really bad.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
We tried it once on this show, and I want to try it again. But we tried it once a long, long time ago.
We did it with a porn star.
Right.
Yeah.
Did we do it with a porn star?
Yeah.
Who did we do it with?
Handy J.
No.
That's a good porn name. Handy J.
We did it with the blonde one. What's her name? The Russian.
Oh, Lexi Love.
Lexi Love?
No,
No.
Anna? Anna.
I know.
Alana Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember doing improv with her, so it must not have been very good. But I wanted to have somebody who knew, who was an improv coach come and do it. You mentioned Groundlings, right?
Yeah.
Groundlings, we have UCB here, which is, those are really the 2 breeding grounds for Saturday Night Live and everywhere else. Lorne Michaels, they pick people from Groundlings and from there. And both of those places hold improv classes, and they hold. So
But then they're
I get I'm sorry.
No, you go first.
I agree with you that either you have it or you don't.
Right.
If you watch and you'll see Allison's. Curb, of course, but even in Sons and Daughters, you'll see that. She's got it.
That's amazing. That's fascinating to me. That somebody could just.
I will give you a handy J. All I needed was 2 compliments.
Wow, see, that's it. You made it.
Yeah.
I'm in Hollywood. Mama made it. No, but it is fascinating because I forget where I was. I was at some improv thing, and it's improv comedy, and then they have a guest and they talk, and it was Jason Sudeikis was there. And he was talking about how in Vegas he would coach people. He was in this comedy group, and they would coach people, and just knowing that some people were just never gonna make it and bankrupting themselves trying to get there.
Yeah. I think you have to. You have to have a creative mind, and I think you have to have a quick wit. Those are 2 things that you'd absolutely
definitely.
You'd have to because it's not, and you'd have to be funny without necessarily
being funny.
Making a joke. You can, again, that's there's another compliment, but that's a lot of Allison's trait is she's very funny without punchline-y funny. Like she's
Yeah, I could never be a comedian.
in that show.
Yeah.
She's just very funny because it's like the character is needy in a lot of ways and like very like it's like you relate more to that. No, but like the character is very needy in a lot of ways, and it's very very funny, but it's also like awkwardly funny in the way that she does it, and like it's not like she's intentionally nailing jokes like sitcoms, like, you know, boom boom, here's the joke.
Yeah, I can't really do a lot of
It's
those.
right. No, but it's like in her case and most good improv, like it's just being funny without. Like I always wish, one thing I hate is when I make a joke, I laugh at the joke as I say a joke, and that's one thing about Lori that I've always said to her.
That's the only thing.
No, it's the one thing.
No, it's true.
No, but there's one thing about Lori that I tell her all the time, that I wish I had her ability to make. She makes a very funny joke, but her face doesn't change.
Oh,
She
the deadpan.
doesn't. Like my face is like, here comes the joke. It's coming. Here it is. You know, like I wish I didn't have that, but like, you know, Lori has that, and I think that's one of the things about improv that you would need. But I would love to do like improv exercises here as a goof, and you know, maybe bring somebody from UCB down here to do it with us. No, you can't lose, because either if it's good, it's good, but if it's bad, it's funny
stinks.
because we're terrible at it. You know. So, you know, it doesn't have to stink. You don't have to get so, it's got to be horrible.
Mine
But
will.
I think we might be. But
we might be really bad.
I think we
might.
There's a good chance we
You
will.
could be really good, though.
Yeah, I could. I mean, you know what though? It's like when people go up to you and they're like, "You should write comedy," and
Guaranteed
it's like,
I'd be
no,
bad.
absolutely not. Like, I would rather make you laugh every once in a while because
Yeah.
I said something.
Well,
It's also just fun.
Yeah,
Like,
is.
so, like, there's the great thing about it is, like, it's over. So it's done. Like, you do it, it's done. You just pay attention to what's going on while it's happening. And so, like, in an acting class, you know, you can go and get in your head and, like, why did I do this then? But improv, you can't recreate it. So,
Yeah, and
is there like a certain thrill of it that like you really enjoy, or you just think it's fun?
no, I think it's really thrilling because it's also super scary.
Right. And I would imagine like that's kind of something that you're always like looking for. Like,
Yeah.
Not you personally, just anyone who is like good at it
Yeah.
probably wants to like see if they can recreate it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think sometimes you will act like you'll say something at the same, like, if you asked us both a question and we said the same thing at the same time, it's like this weird mind meld thing you can get going, which is fun.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to try that. I mean, you can kind of say that when we do our Dungeons and Dragons episodes, we're kind of improving. Like that's
I don't really think things through.
which we're doing next week, by the way.
Oh, nice.
So you have to think of your costume.
So be jealous, Alice.
I am very jealous.
You heard him right. Dungeons and Dragons.
Thank God I got here
2
this
hours
week.
and change. of
He's
it.
been planning it for 6 months.
Really?
I don't plan anything. I've been trying to get everybody together for 6 months.
Oh my God.
He asked if I could wear a costume.
Yes.
You usually do that when the time calls for it, right?
Yeah.
Well, if there's one laying around, but now I feel a lot of pressure that I have to go onto
Because
the
you heard what
Amazon.
my costume was.
Yeah.
What is it? Oh, I can't hear.
You
about
can if you want. Should I reveal it now?
It. Nah, I'd rather just. Is it funny?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just wait.
Okay. Then we will wait. I'll tell you off the air.
No, don't.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't
I
realize.
want to be surprised.
He wants to be surprised.
He wants to improv the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come in dressed up as Sigourney Weaver.
So next,
I don't get it.
With the ass baby.
It's an old. Oh yeah, the ass baby.
The ass
thing.
baby.
yes, baby. Yeah.
That's. I mean, if I asked her for that, a handy J seems like it's like fucking walking.
yeah.
apart.
He asked Sigourney Weaver multiple times to. I don't
know what was wrong.
You need
with
to.
me.
You
I
need
was
to
really
explain.
young.
No. You want
have an ass,
in-
ass
in-
baby.
In person?
No, I think the joke started as like ass
called her on
baby
the
was just a
phone.
thing. And then you were like, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's a baby that's born in your ass." And then
then he's like, I want Sigourney. And it's just so fucking random. One thing about we used to have there's a bell here that
Franco bell.
someone used to ring the bell because there would be times where I'm talking and he just says something so fucking out there. And he said,
I don't think things through very often.
I want Sigourney Weaver to give me an ass baby.
Was it that I would have the baby?
Yeah, like you were
that
going to
was
have it out of
it.
your ass, which makes no sense. But unfortunately, the listeners would start tweeting at Sigourney Weaver and say, he wants.
I really hope she doesn't think about me ever.
I hope she does.
I'm sure she
Why?
does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But just like imagine like you're her and you're like, you know what? Let me just check the tweets.
Right.
Why are there multiple?
What if she
tweets
comes
about
up to
it?
me and she's like,
Giving
"I
me
want to
a-
give you a handy J now"? and then have your ass, or then you can
Sigourney
have my
Weaver?
ass baby. Yeah.
I don't think it's
That's how it
biologically
works.
possible, but
I'll make it happen one day.
in Peru.
Yeah.
I feel like I blanked this whole ass baby out.
This was ages
This was
ago.
early on.
This
Was
is
early?
like
Yeah.
As you can
ages
tell
ago.
by what we're talking about, we hadn't found our legs.
The fact that the fact that I have to like the fact that I have to remember anything is already like enough of a chore.
yeah, I'm concerned in general.
You know, I just learned my mom's. I say this every couple of years, but I just learned my mom's birthday like maybe 3 years ago.
You're kidding.
Wait, give it to us. I want to
Wait,
open
what?
a credit card.
The 23rd of December.
I need the year.
Wait, how do you just?
How do you
I don't
forget
know. I
that?
don't
Especially
know.
that's right near Christmas.
I only know.
You're almost as bad of a child as Allison. At least you didn't do anything in the wedding, but still.
I went to I went to like the wedding, like they had a ceremony, but it was like a small one when we were getting our citizenship. She had to marry my stepdad, and I just remember saying like, you know, he cheats on you a lot. But I told her that in secrecy, like I didn't say it at the wedding.
Oh.
And she was like, "We don't know that for sure." And I was like, "I know that for sure."
Yeah.
Well, one person headed for stardom, and
I'm a loser.
You see, should have.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm on the way down. I think I am, and you're on the way up. You never know.
No, we know. No,
Oh,
for
okay.
sure.
My mom did go through like some Eat, Pray, Love shit. It was cool.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she did. She went to like World Cup and like she went to Australia, which is where it was a few years back, right?
The last one was Russia.
And then this one recently, but before that was when she first got divorced.
Wait, what is this on the way down bullshit?
And maybe
Oh,
it was
I don't
first-
know.
I don't agree with that at
You
all.
don't? Okay,
Melrose
I'm on
Place.
the way up.
Maybe-
Melrose Place.
Maybe you're
That
going
is true.
to be in Melrose Place. They're going to do a third
They'll
one.
redo it.
Didn't they redo that? already?
Yeah, they did.
They did? Yeah.
They did.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It shows you how possible
They redid Power Rangers.
well they
Everything's
did
coming back.
they did 90210. So I think they did that around that time. I think there was a Melrose Place redo.
I think
as
there
well.
was.
With
And
the
like
same
Ashley
cast?
Simpson was in it. No. I'm pretty sure.
So how close to the real Melrose Place is your new place?
Well,
Sure.
you mean like travel wise? How close?
No, you said like it
Oh.
looks. It's very similar.
As far as I know, the sex, as I told you,
Are
the
you a
sex
Melrose proper?
is really boring. I'm between Melrose and Santa Monica.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never been. I want to go.
Oh, you should come out.
Okay.
We
Wait,
have
actually,
amazing avocados.
so wait, you actually said this before we
Yeah,
started about
I
the sex in the room next to you.
Yes. So I've had like a crazy living experience. LA's having a really bad housing crisis. I had to move out of my apartment in Los Feliz that I've been in forever.
Los
Moved
Feliz
in-
is nice, right?
Super nice. I moved in with a lunatic in Glendale for 4 months and then moved out. I also did start a fire, but everything else was her fault. And then I moved into Hollywood.
That's weird. That's kind of a big one, though.
I know.
I want to know about
How
this
did you
fire.
start a fire?
It wasn't. Well, because I was terrified because she was like threatening me all the time. And also, I can show you pictures, which I'll send you this. Maybe you want to put this up.
Okay.
My silverware sitting in her cans of dog food for days on end. In the sink. And she's like, they're soaking.
Oh,
And then
that's
she's
my
like,
least favorite.
I can't eat almond butter anymore because of you. Because do you know how hard it is to get off? I have to, and I'm like, oh no. So whatever. She's like, her crazy isn't the fun kind where you want to like figure out what's going on. So I moved to Hollywood, and then I was like, oh, finally, like peace and quiet. This is so nice. And my first weekend at like 2 a.m, I hear like, and then I hear, and I was like, this, if you're waking me up, it shouldn't be such boring sex. Like, do stuff. It was definitely like Handy J type sounding sex. Like, it was nothing. And then the next morning, or then Monday morning, I heard the same thing again. But it was very boring. So I met her and I wanted to give her some tips.
You should do stuff. You need to do more stuff.
Try things.
Yeah, you're worth it.
It was a Handy J type of situation.
It really was.
That's a good situation, depending.
How did
It's
you?
only in like in 7th grade. Is that like a really?
I think it's like sometimes it's nice. I think sometimes it can be like it can be hot. I don't know.
I don't know about anyone.
But I also just look at myself in the mirror. That's what I'm referring
He does
to.
that.
I'm not talking about someone doing it to me.
Well, most ladies I know don't really get a lot of enjoyment out of. Like, there's other stuff ladies will do that I think they enjoy more.
I
Like,
already have a slight
That
carpal
woman-
tunnel situation in my right hand. It's
Well,
true.
That
It's very
woman I
painful.
dated,
Yeah.
she was like
Right.
really into that.
Yeah, so
which
I
I
can't-
found fascinatingly weird.
I do too.
Yeah. I think it's cool every once in a while.
I want to know about the fire.
Oh, the fire.
Yeah.
Was
So-
it with Armenian food?
No, but I was living in an Armenian neighborhood.
I knew it.
Oh yeah, Glendale.
Is there something about Armenians that are combustible? I don't understand where the
Just
connection.
Glendale.
Well, it's Glendale. I was terrified of her at this point. Like, I was hiding food in my bedroom. I was locking my door at night.
Oh my god.
Because she like came at me twice.
Wait.
Physically?
Yeah.
All right, so we need to roll this back. Wait. So
Okay. Sorry.
So you're living with.
Yeah.
So you're living with her. Like, what's the first sign that like she's wants to?
Wait, yeah, because
come
when
at
you met her, you were probably like, she's nice. We're gonna get along. No.
No, I was in like a really desperate situation because I got kicked out of basically where I lived in Los Feliz, and rents are super crazy right now. Like, one bedrooms are $2,000.
Jesus.
So I knew her from improv, but like,
Peripherally?
yeah, we had been on a team together a long time ago, and I feel bad because she has a lot of problems. Like, it's easier to feel bad when you're not living there, but I knew she had problems, and I was trying to help at first, and it was only supposed to be temporary anyway. But one of the first signs was I had a root canal done in Orange County and came home, and she was on her way to Europe, and there was dirty dishes in the sink when I got back and garbage in the living room. And then she just kept being like, can I borrow $10? And I'm like, no. And then she's like, I drank all your iced coffee because, like, basically you wouldn't give me money. Whatever. This is so boring.
Because you wouldn't give me money?
Basically.
It's like
Like,
you're
she
her
just
mom.
felt like entitled. She didn't want to have to get a job. She was always there. So I, then she came back from Europe, and then it was just like the dishes. Like, if you live in a place with other people, you have to do the dishes. And so just seeing my silverware sitting in dog food cans and stuff sort of made me sick. So that was the first time I said something, and she started screaming at me and like grabbed for me, and then was like,
Oh my God, really? Just
Yeah.
because you're like.
but then the second, so that was fine, whatever. And then I was like, I got to get out of here. And like, she would scream at service people on the phone.
That's not
like
nice.
customer service people. And then she'd be like,
God.
if you ever hear me yelling at customer service people, it's not real. It's just a game I play to get what I want. And I'm like, okay, so
That
that's
sounds real.
that's going to turn on me. And it did. And so right before I was moving out, she said I could use my deposit as my last month's rent. So I was planning on that because also she's got like money problems. And I went to make tea because I wasn't feeling so hot, and I accidentally put. Well, this is my fault. I used to be like a tea person where you put the tea on the stove, right?
Right.
What is that called? The kettle?
The kettle, yeah.
But this was an electric kettle, and I accidentally put a fucking electric kettle on the stove, went into my bedroom, and then was like, what is that sound? It was like popping. And I went out into the kitchen, and then there was a fire.
Oh, fuck.
But it wasn't like super huge. So I did freak out. It was just contained to the stove. I'll send you pictures
Who has
of that
an electric
too.
kettle? That's weird.
Who has the time to take photos of a fire?
So
Well,
I'll
no,
put
the
it out in a minute.
aftermath. The aftermath.
Oh, okay.
And so I put it out, and then I like ran out and pulled the handle on the building that was like fire, and I'm like screaming like fire.
Even
fire.
after it was out?
Well, I didn't put it out because I
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
get it. Well, I sort of did, but I didn't know what to do. I was a mess. So everybody from the building came running, including the landlord. And so some guy put it like a towel over it, and it went out. It was fine. And but I was like shaking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
I'd
the
be
next
freaked out,
day,
too.
she was like, I was close, and I had told her I was moving out, and she's like, "It's fine. I'm just glad you're okay." And then she said,
Last month's rent.
"Yeah." She's like, "I want $1,000 today," and I'm like, "No, I have that. I can use my deposit for the last month's rent." And then she's like, started chasing me, and I ran into my bedroom.
No shit. Like chasing you.
Were you
the-
like living with Chris Brown? Like, what are you living with?
Oh God.
I won't. It's okay. Just a lady.
Do you still see her at auditions?
No, I don't think. Well,
She no longer exists? What,
yeah, no, she does exist. I haven't seen her. I mean, this like all happened somewhat recently,
That sounds rough.
but So no, I haven't seen her, but I've asked her like, "Oh, can I get my mail? Because I know there's checks and stuff." And she's like, "I'm sick of worrying about your feelings and what you need."
God.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Well, there was mail here," because she's like, "I need the mail key back." I'm like, "I don't have a mail key." And she's like, "Well, there was mail here for you, and it's not there anymore."
She threw
And
it
I'm
right.
like, "Well, what happened to it?" And she goes, "I don't know." And I'm like, "But there was mail there for me that you didn't tell me about. That might have been a check." And she's like, "I'm sick of like trying to take care of you." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Are you living with my mom?
Yes. And then she's like, "You're fucking crazy. You need help." And I'm like, "Okay."
Okay, yeah. You got to run from that.
That's like, so now I'm in Hollywood. Yeah.
Jeez.
But that's like not that fun.
Yeah, that's. Did you ever? You lived in some weird situations.
Not weird. It's just like, I don't know. I'm very particular.
Wasn't
like,
there a place where like you were living like in a little hole? Like,
oh yeah, that is true.
Like
I was living in the void.
Yeah, like what was that? Like,
No, there was just I was living in a loft space, and then like I lived in the bottom part of like a loft space. It was like one that had a hobbit door and one that just had a door.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm dead serious. There was
Yeah,
like a
But
gigantic
you had
hobbit
to
door.
bend over to go in your room?
Yeah, and like weirdly enough, like women didn't seem to mind at the time.
Could you stand up?
Nope. I could like sit up,
So every time you went in the
but
room,
my rent was also $300, which is like insane.
Oh, I had when I moved to LA, I had a 1-bedroom on Broome and Mulberry for $750 a month, and I lost it
To what?
to the fact that I didn't know I was actually a subletter, not a renter. And I used sublet to this guy, and I just had a bad feeling about him. And
He never left, did he?
He went around me and said something to the landlord, and they were like, "You have to go."
that sucks.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, you know, everyone dies, and he's no
True.
exception.
You're right. Thank
That's
you
how
for
I-
that.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people who are mean to me. I'm like, you're gonna die just like me. Usually puts things in perspective, and they're also like, you're a fucking psycho. Here's your fucking frozen yogurt, you weirdo.
I like it.
I had a roommate like that once where she had no pots. I came in with the pots and like nice stuff that my mom gave me. She would make rice-a-roni in the pots and then eat half of it and then put that in the refrigerator. So now there's no pot to cook anything. It's so weird how they think
Should have
that
gotten
that's
nice
okay.
Tupperware.
Yeah.
That's where you fucked
Or
up.
some saran wrap on a plate, like something. That's so weird.
Well,
It
she
gets
got
me
a set of
nuts.
silverware because I didn't want that silverware back.
No.
Yeah, well,
So-
No, who would
dog
want
food.
that then? Yeah.
But here's the thing: is like that would drive me nuts because I am very clean. I'm extremely like my house is always clean. Like I have pets, and that like I keep their whole situation really like neat. Like my bathroom cannot have hair anywhere near it. Like I am extremely annoying about things like that. And so I lived with friends for years because this is what you do when you get out of college and you owe a lot of money to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got sick of dealing with it. And then I just moved in with my girlfriend, and it's way better now.
Yeah.
But I am really tough to live with. Like I
can
am
see that.
very mean when it comes to people not doing things the way I want because we share a space, and you should learn to conform to.
Wait,
the
so
other
what's your
person.
what's your biggest peeve that happens that you have a problem with?
A couple, like if you don't replace toilet paper, if
Yeah, that's a crazy.
Oh,
that's fucking awful.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
If you don't clean up countertops after you like drop anything on them, like
Well, these are obvious things.
correct, but
I
then
get
some
it.
people just do not know these things. Like if you cook and you splash things on the like stove, like
Clean
you
it
need to
up.
fucking clean it.
Right.
If you know,
He's starting to
there's-
get wound
I'm
up.
getting really riled up because these are all things. It's like I don't know. We have 3 cats. Like maybe let's like take a lint roller and like fucking lint roll the couch. And I don't want to, I don't want to be on that. It's just little things like that. Or like if we share a closet and we split it in half and that half becomes my third, like that's not
See,
fair.
these are all
Oh,
reasonable.
yeah.
I thought I get. Is there anything that you even think is unreasonable, but you're just weird?
If you don't clean the bathroom a certain way, then I don't want you to clean it anymore. And I'll
What's-
just do
what's
it.
the way?
Like,
I
just
would clean it incorrectly then.
Yeah,
Me too.
But that's just one thing. It's like if you can't do something to like a standard that I hold, then don't do it for me because you're just wasting my time, and I'm gonna do it again, like passive aggressively, and you're gonna get your feelings hurt when I tell you suck.
I could see living with you would be a little weird.
It wouldn't be weird.
Like,
It would
no,
just
I
be
get. Like, I agree with every single rule.
I just don't want any favors if they're gonna be half-assed to me. Like, just don't do it for me. Just leave it alone. I'll do it myself. That's how I am. Also, just don't set the kitchen on fire.
It was just a small fire, and it was just once. And even one of the ladies who was a neighbor, she's like, "We have fires here all the time."
Like for fun?
No.
That would have been great. She
I
was
don't
like,
think
we have
that's-
fires.
yeah.
Maybe I'm not in the right place.
And I fixed it. I got all the melted plastic off. I replaced the electric kettle within 2 hours. Like, what do you want from
You
me?
sound like a good
solved.
roommate.
I tried. I mean,
People who soak things, by the way, that's a big peeve of mine. If it can be cleaned, it needs to be cleaned.
that's what I said. I go, it's fine if you want to eat and then clean. I don't need you to,
Clean while
But
you're eating.
like tomorrow is not cool if we're living together.
I'm like a little bit of a psycho, and I need to clean before I eat.
So they were they were soaking in dog food cans
for days.
Did she eat dog food?
Fucking disgusting.
No, she had a dog.
Was it cute?
It was cute.
Like
Poor
okay,
dog
okay,
lives with
maybe
her.
you're soaking it in like a glass or
Yeah,
but
but not
like
in-
a dog food, like
dog food,
you
though.
have to go through more steps to do it in a can.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And also, you just reminded me of something. Her dog, she wouldn't get dog bags. I brought like a thing of tinfoil, and she would use my tinfoil to pick up after her dog. And twice I went on walks with her, and she didn't pick
Tinfoil?
up at all.
That's gross.
Right. You shouldn't have a dog if you're
No.
not going to
Let
pick
me
up after your
tell you
dog.
the complete
No.
opposite of that.
Yeah.
So, Pee comes in from the studio with his umbrella, and he brings his own bag for the umbrella. So he has it, and it's
cloth.
but no, it's a
No, it's
plastic. It's
bag
a plastic bag.
You get at the gym.
But it's like he has a dispenser of plastic bags for his umbrella. It wasn't one that he was using. It was flat and brand new.
Yeah.
I found that to be fascinating. I don't know why. I just thought it was very.
Well, I don't want to make a
incredibly
mess
neat.
with the water.
Yeah, I would want to see what's under your floorboards if you're doing shit like
No,
that.
no,
FYI, notice my umbrella. That slob of
Right.
an umbrella
See?
laying
No,
there.
let me
wet.
clarify.
I'll give you one of the bags.
Yeah, someone's probably going to
No.
slip on mine.
Let me clarify. I don't think it's weird that you wanted to do it once you got in here.
Yeah.
I think it's
But-
weird that you have them with you. I think that.
How many do you have on you right now?
One extra.
See what I mean?
For
Like,
you.
isn't that's weird, right? It's not just me.
Strange.
Oh, wait, I got something else.
It's
for
like
you
there's only
anyway.
so much you
What do you
can
have?
carry.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. He has
Right.
something.
Oh my
for
god,
me.
you have potato chips, don't you?
Are they?
No, what is it? He bears gifts to her.
More bits.
Crunchy drizzle
We're
bites
just
with
shit
rice,
compared to
chia,
her.
quinoa, and flax. A s'mores?
Why would you? That's so weird that you choose that.
That is
Yeah,
cute.
why not?
So jealous.
I know.
Can I catch
I
one?
tasted them. They're really good.
Oh my god, you should try one.
Oh, it touched
Wait,
your face.
Aren't they good?
Oh, I'll try one.
I ate off the floor.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Did you make
No,
them?
I've had them.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Now we're all just
You gonna try one?
pretending to eat in the studio, right? We're not actually
Make-
No.
eating
Make
in the
believe.
studio,
There's
right?
no food
On
in here.
cameras.
I've never seen anything.
We're improvising.
Make
It's
believe.
doing.
Styrofoam.
It's chewing improvisers. It's very good. You're very good at it.
This is good improvisation, guys.
Everybody's pretending to eat. It's great.
These are delicious. If they were edible.
If they were, yes, if you could.
Yeah.
So
These taste like
So-
ass.
like ass baby.
No, they're really good.
That's a weird choice too. Like I don't know. I'm so
No,
fascinated
because
by
I had it
everything
and
about
I really
it.
liked it, and I figured she'd like it because we're not allowed to bring the potato chips.
You also get temporary tattoos all the time. And
No, I got
thought-
a permanent.
You do?
So you finally got a permanent.
Wait,
one.
let me see it.
Well,
What did
you
you
know
get?
Well,
If it's the Italian flag.
I wanted a tribal tattoo. So,
What tribe are you in?
well, these were the ones I had to pick from.
Why? Wait, why did you have to pick from those?
Did you get it on your butt
Don't-
cheek?
Wait,
I wanted something small. So
okay,
I
but you can
Googled-
scale any tattoo.
Well,
right?
I googled small tribal tattoos.
I like that you're thinking literal.
Well, what does it mean? Like, what's the significance?
It's from a tribe. I don't know.
Did you get it yet?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Which one did you get out of these?
Well,
Oh my
guess.
god, this is amazing.
If it's on the bottom
Wait,
of your
let us
foot,
guess.
All right,
Let
yeah,
us
let's
guess.
guess. All right.
it's on your ankle.
It is on your ankle.
Yeah.
Laura,
Oh,
you're killing me with that.
Sorry, I can't be near food.
Here, just give it.
Just take it away. I'll eat the whole thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, thank you.
I think he got this one.
All right,
This.
Allison, what do you think?
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Let me
let
think.
first you.
Okay.
I'm just a peasant.
It looks like an
No.
Indian Van Halen.
I have to eat one more.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm going to go with This is your first permanent tattoo?
Yeah.
I'm like pretending that I'm using this like, oh, that will eliminate that one. I think it's this bottom.
Now, in the case of him, you have to remove all logic.
Okay.
I'm curious. This chair is gonna fall soon.
This is really hard. I think I'm going to go with the bottom left one.
Yeah.
Or it's either that or the top left one. I don't know. Lori, what did you say?
I said this middle right one.
That looks like the Eagles logo a little bit. Like they're kissing.
I hate the Eagles.
Franco, what do you think you would use?
The Eagles, the football team. Oh, okay. I don't.
Or
mind
no,
them
the
that much.
Seahawks.
Not the band. The band. Don Henley. I got a
That
big
does
Don
kinda-
Henley on my cat.
I think it's upper right.
Let me see.
I got to guess too. You took
Well,
your
Rob,
guess.
do you know it?
No.
No.
Upper right looks like
Yeah,
people
actually, the
having
only
sex,
one-
so I can see it being upper right.
The only one that knew it was Leah.
Leah knew?
Yeah, she saw it.
Yeah, he showed it last time and then we forgot. Well, one looks like no. You don't have this like as a tramp stamp, right? You have it on your ankle.
I already
I have
guessed
it on my
yeah,
ankle.
It's on his ankle.
I'm gonna say you went with this one.
I said that one too as my number.
Yeah, I think this one.
Oh my gosh. are you
Look,
gonna
he's
do a
revealing.
reveal?
It's a reveal.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yes, that's
What's
it.
the one we picked?
Allison.
This one?
No.
No, which one?
This was my number one. And I was
Nice.
like, oh my gosh, what do I win anything?
Yes, a handy J.
Oh yeah. Well, when you think about it, even permanent tattoos are temporary because we are all gonna die.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
I have a lot of stupid ones, so I'm definitely waiting for that day.
We know yours. Franco has a Hello Kitty tattoo.
You do?
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I got a Hello Kitty key this week
Oh, cool.
for my new place.
You want to hang out?
Sure.
So
And that,
wow.
then the other thing is, in Forest Hills, they opened the medical dispensary.
Hello Kitty's medical dispensary.
So you went to
So
investigate.
I went to investigate.
Did you do like you have a little camera in
But
your belt?
I mean, I saw a lot of people young coming out of there. So
well, of course, it's weed.
I saw a lot of people young too.
but so this is the thing that
They were like all in their 40s. They were so young.
yeah.
All depressed.
These are the conditions you can go for, though.
Is it real weed though? Before we keep going,
Yeah.
or is it like?
All right,
this
so
fake
wait,
thing?
let me just set this up. So they opened a medical marijuana facility in New York, but for some reason the laws in New York are very. Now you can, I don't know, do you smoke or do you
I smoked a ton this weekend.
all right, awesome.
Yeah.
So you get like
but-
we're very jealous of the fact that you can
That you
just
can
walk in and
get
pick
it.
whatever
Oh,
you
yeah, you
want and
can.
get whatever you want. We don't have that here. It's not legal here, and they have some. Like the medical restrictions, like you have to have one eye.
You gotta
and
be
have
dead.
AIDS with cancer.
right.
So
Only
what?
Freddie Mercury can smoke.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but in his current state,
Yeah.
not when he was near
But
death.
you may get away with some of
So
these.
what are some of that you can use?
PTSD,
Everyone has PTSD.
They do.
chronic pain,
Everyone has that.
cancer,
I need that.
Everyone has
chronic.
cancer.
ALS, epilepsy, Huntington's disease,
I'm from Huntington.
multiple
Hicksville
sclerosis,
disease? Can you have Hicksville disease?
Parkinson's, and opioid use.
So
But-
the only
That's
one.
it?
Yeah. You have to get the thing from a doctor, but then they gave me this other thing that you can do it online.
Oh.
But
No
wait,
MD. It's like WebMD,
wait.
but better.
wait a minute. So this says.
We
So
can bring it.
obviously, chronic pain is what everybody's going for.
Right.
My back. You
I
know?
do have a fucked up shoulder.
But you
I don't
sign
smoke
on
weed.
to this login and you speak with on a doctor, and in 15 minutes you can get it. Supposedly.
Yeah, but then what happens? Where do you go? And what?
But that's how it was in LA before it is how
Before
it
it
is
is
now.
now.
Like it used to be, you'd
But
go
wait.
in and talk to a doctor about
Yeah.
a bullshit, say you had a headache,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
he'd write you a thing.
But wait, is it actual marijuana though, or is it like the drops, the THC drops?
It's set up like a bank, so I don't see what you go in there and look like you go to the teller and you get whatever you
Give
want.
me all your money.
Yeah. I never saw.
Give me all your green.
I
get
need to
it?
pay for my tribe. I need to feed
So
my
I've
tribe.
never seen somebody come out that I could ask, what did you actually get?
So you don't know what
They're gonna think you're a cop. Don't do that.
You look like a narc.
He doesn't
Yeah.
look like a cop.
He looks like a fucking narc.
If I
Yeah,
just
but
bought
wait a
pot
minute.
in
What
that
would it
store and
matter?
then he said
It's
that.
legal
What is what
to
what,
do it, though, so it wouldn't matter.
what happened?
Federally, it's not legal.
Right. But wait, again, I'm not 100% sure that you get marijuana. I think you get like oil that you put under your tongue. Like, there's nothing
Well, who
wrong
cares
with
what
that.
it is?
I care because I want that glorious moment where I can walk into a dispensary and be like, I want a lollipop. I want this. Now, I have ways of ordering from California and from Colorado, and I do have the selection, and it's not like this.
Right.
I've never not been able to get anything I want, but I want that moment where I can walk in and be like,
And
I'll
just
take
get it
this,
then.
I want that. But
Probably Jersey will get it before we do.
Jersey will. Well, Jersey's voting on this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Bob Menendez.
I like that you
That's
did
all I
the
keep
investigation. You're like,
Yeah.
You're naming
a
the senator?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Menendez did backdoor deals. He had sex with minors. Don't vote for Bob Menendez. Like, that's all I remember. I'm not even in fucking Jersey.
And if sex with minors is in there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like he went, and it was like it was an investigation, but it was never found to be true, or it was never proven, I guess. And then like all the commercials were just like, Bob Menendez is a bad man. He had sex with minors.
That's how great New Jersey is. That was all. Bob Menendez didn't put any ads out, and he won.
And the other one never said what he wanted to do. He just.
No, the other one. This is New Jersey
Was
too.
it hugging?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to say his whole campaign was, "I'm not one of those regular Republicans. I'm pro-choice, pro-gay marriage." Like, he had to go above.
I don't mind handy J's between boys.
Bob Menendez objected to his father's wedding. Do you feel bad about that now? Do you not like it? No. So you?
No, it didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
So she felt good.
I felt no. I mean, I wish we could have stopped it. I think we were right. I still think we were right.
Have you ever had that conversation later where like
when
I told you,
with
Mom.
who?
No, like with your father. Like, did you have?
I don't know. We had a lot of conversations. I don't know if that ever came up again.
Anywhere you spoke to?
Is there a video of that somewhere?
I wish. I'm trying to get a picture. My sister won't get it because she knows what I want it for. But he did try to. I stopped talking to my dad when he tried to put me in jail.
Wow.
And that's when I was in college. So I've seen him somewhat off and on, but he would do weird stuff too. Like, this is another thing, like, that will just show you the kind of person he was. So he divorced that lady and got a new girlfriend, and then he called the ex-wife to find out particulars about a position that he wanted to try out with his new girlfriend, and couldn't. No, I swear to God, this is my dad, and couldn't understand why she would have a problem with him calling and being like, "What was that weird thing that we came up with?"
The J handy? What is it?
Yeah, it's the J hand. Yeah, no, that is my dad. Like, my dad is like
Oblivious?
He's oblivious, and he's like, he doesn't realize that other people have feelings, whatever that is, I think.
So weird.
But like, he used to say strange, like, me and my sister would constantly have to be like, we're your daughters, not your buddy. Like, don't talk to us like this. And
my dad introduces me as his sister all the time.
Oh, well, so this will maybe, I'll try to quickly encapsulate my dad. At one point, he wished I would marry that wife, her brother, who was like 6 years older than me. So then we could be father and daughter, and also brother and sister-in-law.
Oh, good.
That's
So,
weird.
do you guys watch live PD?
Yes, I do. You know what?
I'm obsessed with it.
The sad part, I fall asleep with that on, and then it always never fails because I wake up to the sirens. But like, I put it on to go to sleep, and like, you know, it's like, oh, this guy's, you know, I love, you know, like, I thought it was staged at first, but clearly it's not. But I forgot what, like, the last one. I was laughing as I'm falling asleep because the guy goes, and now we're gonna cut to a family reunion gone wrong, and I'm like, well, I can't go to sleep now.
Yeah,
this shit's going down.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
Why'd you bring that up? Was he on?
No, because it's just like that sort of relationship reminds me of like I feel like those are people you would see on live PD where they're like, oh, that's my sister-in-law, that's also my daughter.
Right.
Like, and I did watch a lot of that this weekend. And there was one guy, and this made me sad. He was at a porn store, which reminded me of what we were talking about with Lori, and having to return porn videos for your dad.
Yeah.
For your dad.
Big
and
part
so
growing up for me.
That reminded me of like there was a guy jerking off in the back, giving himself his own handy J in the back of a porn shop, and a lady called the police on him. But that's what I thought the back of porn shops were for.
That's messed up.
Yeah, and they arrested him. It was really sad.
Poor guy.
If there's not a place to give yourself a hand DJ, then
Right.
It's not worth
What do
it.
you,
then.
Lori? What do you remember the titles of the movies you had to bring back that you?
they were the most disgusting
like
titles.
What? Like what?
There was.
Bob
I mean, I don't
Menendez.
remember. There was.
The guy with the tribal tattoo.
There was an Asian one.
That was a good one, though.
There was an Asian one that had like some really racist
Like
name.
me so horny or something like that.
No, it was like Fortune Cookie something.
Fortune Coochie.
And
Fortune Cookie.
I mean, if
Coochie.
you're gonna
You don't
direct
remember,
that,
I
you
was
would
like-
have to put a fortune in the vagina.
I mean, I'm
that's-
7,
sure, yeah.
I'm 8, I'm 9, I'm 10. I'm like returning these. I'm getting out of the car. I'm returning
At
these
Blockbuster?
videos. No, Blockbuster doesn't. Which you, Allison, you know, they don't.
have
They don't
softcore.
have this type of porn that my
No,
dad's
no,
looking
no.
at.
I know what you mean because
You
I used to
gotta
work
go.
at a video store, and I remember I was like 17. It was one of my first jobs, and I brought home the videotape. It was called "Slippery When Wet" was the name of it, and it was
Not Bon Jovi.
In retrospect, it was no Bon Jovi in it. In retrospect, it was Tracy Lord's one of the underage films that she was in.
Oh, I think my dad has that.
So I remember that my parents found the videotape. And they're like, my father's like, I found what you had. You don't want your mother to see that, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, years later, I'm looking for something, and it's in my parents' room. I'm like, you motherfucker, you kept the movie.
No way.
Your daddy beat
I
that meat
remembered
to
every
that.
fucking scene of that movie.
Oh my god.
How I grew up, it's not even a video store if there's not saloon doors. Like that's,
Right.
Yeah.
that's
have to have
always the place we went to was called Video Vault.
Mine was Video Vision. What's the name of it? Was it Video Vision? Yeah, Video Vision.
Mine was the public library, and I would rent The Matrix all the time.
Just watch
Good movie.
It is good.
For the longest time, because I had to watch it on my computer and the disc was scratched, because that's the times we lived in back then, I just kept thinking that the scenes were like repeating themselves on purpose in some weird glitchy way, and I was like, oh, this is cool, this is art, and then it wasn't. I was just watching an extra 40 minutes of movie.
I watched Inception on my phone off of YouTube.
That's not the best way to watch
No,
it.
and it had like it wasn't synced. The sound was off by like 20 seconds. I had like, it was so confusing.
You can't. That movie's
No.
confusing when it's normal.
That sounds like my
Exactly.
acid
Yeah.
trips.
It was bad.
That sounds fun, though. I'd do
That
it.
was fun.
On acid. You should watch Inception on acid.
I watched Metropolis on acid.
That's a bizarre movie too.
Yeah, I watched that on acid.
I've never done acid. I still want to try it.
Let's do it together.
I will.
Me, you, and,
Do it
and that
during your,
wonton next door to your house.
What?
Me, you, and the wonton next door.
Yeah, the guy next door.
What about during Dungeons and Dragons? That seems like the perfect time.
That
to
might
do
be a
acid.
little intense.
Like I want to do it. We had Walker Hayes on. She's gonna come and administer drugs to us. I don't know why she's the person to do this, but she wants to come back and we're all gonna take something, and she's gonna take 5 different types of drugs and put them in a cup. And
So you're not gonna
Allegedly.
we're not gonna know what's what. We'll know what drugs they are, but we won't know who's getting what.
There was a
Which
thing.
is insane, right? I agree, and I would do it, but my problem is like I'm gonna get the one where I'm gonna be like completely incoherent, and then
we're gonna have a great time.
like I don't mind. I've done this show high many a times back in the day when we started it.
Yeah.
We've done it drunk. I don't know if I can do it on acid.
I don't think I could.
I don't think it would be in. I think
Not
somebody
especially not
needs
for
to
your
be
first time.
straight and run the show. Because I think it'll just be a clusterfuck for anybody who's listening. Not that it isn't
I
weekly,
mean,
but
this is a nightmare anyway. I dread coming here.
I know you do.
No, sorry.
No, he kind of does.
No, I really don't.
Well,
I'm
only 'cause-
excited about
Only
it.
because his apartment's getting messy right now.
Oh,
Only because I know I'm not
jeez.
there to see what's going on with those pots and pans.
Cat hair is piling up. on that
You want to know what
couch.
a bad one is for me? If you can't clean up Tupperware correctly and there's still oil in it, drives me fucking
yeah.
nuts. Up the walls.
I'm telling you, he's not. He's
good to
he's
know.
Unhinged.
I
Hard
can
to-
tell. Yeah,
hard
unhinged
to
is a
live
good word
with.
for you. Hard to. Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Peepee's like, oh my god, I have so much oil in my.
Can you
Tupperware."
imagine like your friends going like, so why'd you guys break up? It's like, yeah, well, he kept yelling about
She
fucking
didn't-
Tupperware.
she didn't clean
Oil in the
Tupperware right.
Tupperware.
You know, the first time he said something, I didn't think it was a big deal.
Thought it was
but-
funny.
Yeah.
But he really took it to another.
But here's the thing: is I have a very straight face for most everything. Unless I'm joking
Yes.
around with like buddies that I know for years. I'm like when I'm joking with strangers, when I'm joking with coworkers, like very straight face.
on
the
this show
entire
too.
time.
You're straight face. Yeah.
And so people get freaked out because they're like, "Are you serious?" And sometimes I'm like, "No, I'm fucking around." And then sometimes I'm like, "No, I'm very fucking serious right now."
Yeah.
So it's just tough.
It's hard.
That said, though, sometimes you get away with like maybe saying something a little mean and then just going like, I'm just kidding.
What do you do that she has a problem with?
Show up drunk and say that I'm going to be there 2 hours ago and not.
Even though you never did.
It's a pretty bad one. I stopped doing that, though. Now I just tell her, like, hey, it's been a rough day. I need to go grab a drink.
There you go.
That is up there with the dirty.
Sounds like there's a lot of challenges going on.
No, she just said, like, you tell me you're going to be here 2 hours ago, and I know you're drinking because I can hear people around you yelling, and you show up drunk, so it's not like I don't know you're drunk. Just tell me you're going to be late, and then that way I can eat or, you know, maybe cook later.
These
Seems
are
reasonable.
These are legitimate.
Yeah, and she was right.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're absolutely right. So now I just...
if I wasn't so drunk, I'd apologize.
yeah, if I weren't so angry all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
this has been...
eye-opening.
This has been eye-opening. No, this is great. Allison, I hope you come back more often.
Oh, I would love
You're
it.
You're welcome anytime.
Oh, thanks, you guys. That's so nice.
Anytime you're here, you're welcome back. Is there we didn't even talk about Lizzie and Allie. What would you like to promote? I know you have a web series, Lizzie and Allie.
I don't have that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. I have I have nothing to promote. So I am working on a new web series, but it's not ready yet.
Okay.
And then Eden from Sons and Daughters, we started a little art company together.
Oh, very cool.
Called Eden's Arteries. And so we just opened that like 2 Saturdays ago.
Nice.
And so we'll put it up on Etsy, and then but it's fun, so we're doing that. I see her a lot. And then I'm like writing some more stuff about like for my 13th birthday, my friend's dad got me a male stripper.
Oh my god!
For my party, it was like, I'll send you that picture too. It's gorgeous. So just working on stuff like that, but I don't have anything actually where I'm like, watch this. And then I've been doing more stand up in Los Angeles.
Very cool. Well,
yeah.
Well, when you're ready to promote any of these things, you come back or you send
Thanks,
it to me.
you
and
guys.
I'll
would
get it
love
up there.
What about if I get a new tattoo that says Handy J and Ojibwe or something like
definitely.
that?
You would definitely come back.
Yeah.
Where would you get that?
In the hand.
Well, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But that might also work on like a right breast.
Yeah, it could.
Right on the nipple.
Yeah.
Because you'd want to read it while you're getting the Handy J, I guess, right?
Right.
I think so.
I have to call this episode the
Yeah,
Handy
no.
J. I don't have a choice.
That's okay. This guy, I can't even remember his name, but he's somewhere.
Allison?
Wait, I need a visual on
He
him.
lives, yeah.
I don't have one.
Is he young?
No.
Fat?
What?
He's not fat. I mean, he wasn't. This
Steve
was a
Bannon?
while ago. He's not Steve Bannon fat. Oh, wait, can I tell you one more thing really quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I was really excited when Sons and Daughters was going to start, right? And so I was like the first person. They're like, "Oh, Martha Stewart really loves the pilot. She wants you to come on her show." And I was so
No way.
excited.
Yeah, the food.
And they were like, "You have to do your own hair and makeup," which I'm terrible at, and like your own hair. Well, clearly. So and also it's raining. So I was like, I will pay for someone to do my hair and makeup because I don't trust myself. And I showed up, and then I was getting my hair done across the street, and they're like, "We're so sorry. Martha got into a huge fight with Donald Trump and is canceling her shows for the week." And so she sent me like a really nice thing of flowers, and I never got to go back.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
I know. So like I have so many reasons to be mad at
Lock
him.
her up.
And like
Lock
that's
her up
another one.
again.
Yeah.
She owns the rights to the word "bam." Like
She does?
Yeah, like Emeril Lagasse.
Why
he used
doesn't
to have
he?
it copyrighted, and then he sold it to her.
How weird. Does she say it?
Wait,
She's now on the Cooking
Is that true?
Network. So.
Hold on a second. Wait. Is that true? Or you
Yeah, no, I'm dead serious.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like, it's,
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes you don't know.
And she says it.
I mean, I hope she
We
does.
can't say
I hope she
bam?
just withholds it.
Yeah.
She says "bam."
We can't say bam?
Not on TV.
Not on
Not
TV.
You know what?
in
I'm going to fucking do
Well,
it
you
right
could
now.
you could do it now on the network.
Bam. That's right.
It's gonna be my tattoo.
I'm wet.
Come at me. Come at me.
Fucking
Motherfucker.
wet.
You're wet. Bam. Bam.
Yeah.
No, Martha's about to get a Prius.
Well, thank you for listening to the whole. I am Rob Sprance.
I'm Mr. Pee-Pee.
I'm Alison Quinn.
I'm Lori Levine.
I'm Franco Del Valle.
Later, motherfuckers.